to another episode of Bike Talk BikeLane. This is Bike Checks with Ed. I'm Ed, and this is the all-new 2021 Giant Escape 3 Comfort. So this guy is pretty much the Giant Escape, which is your flat bar road bike / hybrid. But this guy has a couple of features to it that makes it more of a comfort bike. So this guy comes with a suspension seat post. So it's the traditional 27-2 seat post, but it has a spring in it. It's an aluminum post. This guy also comes with an adjustable stem and a higher rise bar. But let's go back to the beginning. So this is an Alex aluminum frame. It's your traditional hybrid style frame, which gives it almost a mountain bike feel, so it's an aggressive feeling frame. Versus a comfort bike like a Cypress or a Sedona, which is centered more around just being comfortable. So the top tube is very short, so you can sit very upright, and the rear end is very short as well, so the bike feels a little tight, but it's tall, where this guy is a little flatter, so it's a little sportier. So jump into the front here. We have a 26-inch wide aluminum handlebar with a 2.5-inch rise. This handlebar does have some back sweep to it, so the handlebar is pushed a little further back closer to you. So the closer the handlebar is to you, the shorter the bike is going to feel. With the adjustable stem, you can also raise the handlebar up, lower it down, which is also going to give the bike a very different feel. So if the stem goes lower, the handlebar gets further away from you, and the sweep and rise of the handlebar is going to feel very different. So there's lots of room to play around here with this setup. Giant also gives you a lock-on ergonomic grip. So it has a palm insert. Palm insert just takes up more space on your hand, so you can relieve some pressure and some tension. A lot of people complain about getting their fingers numb or their hands get numb because of long riding. So with this bike, you can sit a little more upright, get a little more weight off of your wrist, and also the grips are going to help spread your weight out a little more. Up top here, Giant gives you a bell, which is a huge plus, especially in the cities. In cities, you're legally obliged to have a bell. So up top here, Giant gives you tourney shifters and brake lever combo. So it's shifter pods, they're all connected as one unit. And to stop this bike, Giant gives you V-brakes. V-brakes are pretty traditional. They come in a lot of bikes. They give you a pretty snappy feel. These are plastic levers on the tourney, by the way. They're aluminum calipers. A V-brake is a nice brake to have. This brake is always a nice upgrade. Giant gives you on here the Giant SX2 double wall alloy rims. So these are aluminum rims, double wall. Double wall gives you two layers of material, so you got a lot of protection for riding in the street. And to protect those rims, Giant gives you the Giant SX2 tire. The SX2 is a flat guard tire, so it has puncture resistance on the inside. It's a 75 PSI tire, 75 PSI on a 700 by 38C tire. Excuse me, it's a lot of pressure. So at 75 PSI, you're riding in the street with these, you have almost no rolling resistance. But you still have a lot of tire between you and the road to protect your rim. And with the flat guard, you don't have to worry too much about getting punctures, as long as you maintain the air pressure in your tires. Your hubs are quick release, so your wheels can easily come off with no tools, which is a plus. In the back, you have the same tire, same rim, same quick release feature. You have the same V-brake in the back as well, the traditional rubber pads. In the drivetrain here, we have a tourney. So you have tourney rear derailleur, tourney front derailleur. The rear cassette is a 1434. So the 14 being the smallest, it's not a super fast gear. It's more of a casual riding gear. But in the front, Giant gives you 28, 38, 48 being the biggest. And a 48 is a really large chainring. That's Blake, guys. You guys should know him from the other videos. So on a 48, on a 1448, that's a really big spread. So you guys can easily get some speed and push this bike really fast if you needed to. You can get aggressive if you needed to get aggressive. To push that chainring, Giant gives you 170 millimeter crank arms, which are short crank arms. So on 170 millimeter crank arms, they rotate a lot faster. They come around easier. So when they come around easier, you can get more rotation and pick up speed a lot faster. Giant gives you plastic platform pedals as well. And these pedals, don't have a ton of grip, I would definitely suggest upgrading these pedals. So if you want to get a little more push out of it, you can. And now jumping up top here, back to the seat post. The seat post compresses under your weight. So you can see it's actuating under my weight. So as you're riding, as you hit a hole, if you're riding at 75 PSI in your tires and you just want to be as efficient as possible, you can, because then you're not going to feel every bump and crank of the road because you have that suspension post to absorb some of that momentum for you. The saddle isn't a wide saddle. Giant gives you the contact saddle. This guy is 6.5 inches wide, 10.5 inches long. It's not super plushy, but it's not super bad. You can easily get away with it if you're used to a smaller, narrow saddle. And that pretty much sums it up. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you can feel free to call the shop or please comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, we're always here.